like Michael Tessarion, he's pretty prominent in the truth movement, Jordan Maxwell, David Icke. If you really examine these people and where their beliefs come from with respect to the Age of Aquarius, 2012, creating a one-world utopia, this is all the occult and the New Age religion that was first popularized by the Theosophical Society. And then when you keep that in mind and then look at the New World Order, you'll see that a lot of these elites in elite think tanks believe in the exact same thing that we're being taught in the truth movement.
Yep.
So we're really being deceived. Like, and you can get really specific too. You can look at like people like Robert Mueller, Barbara Marx Hubbard, and she's in the Club of Budapest, an elite think tank created by Irvin Laszlo, the co-founder of the Club of Rome. And they all believe the same stuff too, that in the Age of Aquarius it's going to be a one-world utopia.
Yep.
So when you have people like Maxwell and Tessarion and David Icke spreading the same thing, it should be a red flag that these people aren't really on our side. They're actually deceiving us to believe in the New World Order religion. And
absolutely. And you got Tony Blair now pushing this one world religion now. Tony Blair is taking charge now, and those of you who think the New World Order is a conspiracy, the leader of the European Union, Ban Ki-moon's called for a New World Order. Tony Blair, Henry Kissinger, both George Bushes, Obama, Clinton, even Jimmy Carter, Ronald Reagan, all these people call for a New World Order. The last two popes called for a New World Order. Gordon Brown's called for a New World Order, and this is not a conspiracy. They openly admit this in mainstream media.
And the thing is, a lot of people they'll acknowledge that, and they'll say, okay, well, there's a New World Order, but they'll stop and they'll think, okay, it's just a political agenda. It's all about politics and power. But that's not the case. When you put yourself in the shoes of these elitists, these people have massive amounts of power. They have massive amounts of wealth. They have mansions, all the cars, all the best food, all the best champagne. And when you have that for so long, like these people like David Rockefeller, you get bored of what you have and you want more. And when you look into what these people have recourse to, namely the New Age beliefs that the Age of Aquarius will be the fulfillment of this one-world utopia, that explains why they're still driving for something like this, even though they have everything they could possibly want. It's because they're heavily stooped into the occult. And this can be demonstrated explicitly with their own statements. Like, you just got to quote these people like David Spangler, who was in Planetary Citizens in the UN. He is fully on board with what I'm talking about, the Age of Aquarius. And it's just interesting to me that the truth movement has bought into these beliefs as well, and I think that's very dangerous stuff.
Yeah, it's very dangerous, and these people are they're masterminds in a psychotic way, and they're very good at what they do. The master deceptionists, and it's just stuff like you need to be aware, people, of the deception out there.
Exactly. Yeah.
And we exposed the whole right-wing paradigm to people out there. How the establishment wants you. In other words, they build a wall in front of that middle door. They want you to make a choice to go right or left. And this goes to religion. This goes to politics. This goes to everything you do in life. And God says to walk a straight and narrow path. But they always try to hide that middle door on you. They want you to go right and left, which leads to the same place.
Exactly. I like what William Cooper said about the right-wing, left-wing paradigm.
Yep.
He says, you're all Americans, but you don't realize it. It's as easy as that.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it's like there's a lot of deception out there, and films like, especially Zeitgeist. When I first seen Zeitgeist, I seen that before Exposing the Satanic Empire. The first couple of parts were like, oh yeah, good. But when they got into the part about the religions, because I studied Osiris, and I'm a Christian too, and I'm like, wait a minute, he's lying about all these people. They're trying to put Christ and everybody else in this one astrological chart to make Maitreya or the Antichrist be the ultimate, the real Messiah. And I'm like, this guy's wrong here. And when I seen your documentary, I'm like, yeah, that's like, that's fighting back for, against the establishment.
Right. Well, when Peter Joseph, the creator of Zeitgeist, when he talks about how Jesus just represented Pisces and the sun, and that supposedly there's something to this astrological age concept, or every 2150 years a new age comes. By telling people that, he's feeding them into the New Age worldview, which is exactly what the New World Order wants people to believe, so that they're expecting the Age of Aquarius. And when they start, getting into New Age literature and occult literature, authors will be telling them that the New Age of Aquarius will be a golden era where all the wars will be gone. It'll be a perfect, peace of mankind. But the catch is, it's going to be a one-world utopia, and you'll have to give up your constitution, which no American, no freedom-loving American should ever agree to do. And that's the danger with Zeitgeist.
Because once you give up your freedom, that'll be the end. I mean, it's go from your freedom, your sovereignty, the Constitution will be gone, and all of a sudden you're living in internment camps, and it just goes on from there. And
well, that's the thing with a system like the Venus Project, which is, we expose it to be a communist Aquarian one-world system in the film. If you accept something like that, there's a chance for a disastrous rise of misplaced power. If that system unfolds and there's a one-world system, all it takes is for people to attain power, and then the whole system is a disaster, because they have power over all of humanity now, since the borders are gone, since the countries are gone. And, you'll realize that it wasn't worth it. This utopia wasn't worth it.
No, and the people, they're gonna. Unfortunately, most people are going to be hook, line, and sinker into the propaganda, and then when they're into that propaganda, the very people who fight for this utopia, themselves are going to be deceived, and their families are going to be taken apart. Their bank account's going to be empty as well, and when they think they're serving the system's going to crash on them as well. And the people don't see this.
Exactly, and a very easy way people can expose Zeitgeist is to. There's an interview on the internet where Jordan Maxwell basically says that he was the main inspiration for the film Zeitgeist, and that everything in the first part as well as much of the second was influenced by him. This is his own words. And, okay, so we realize that Maxwell's responsible for a lot of the ideologies in Zeitgeist. Okay, well, the problem with that is that Maxwell has admitted that he was a good friend of the Freemason Manly Palmer Hall, who advocated world government. Maxwell admitted that Manly Palmer Hall was like a teacher and a father to him. Maxwell admitted that he was influenced by Helena Blavatsky, the founder of the New Age, the founder of the Theosophical Society. And what they taught was that there's going to be a one-world system for the Age of Aquarius again. So Zeitgeist is directly tied to this late 19th century belief that for the Age of Aquarius, after Pisces is gone, which is a fictional concept, there's going to be this universal age of like a utopia, one world system. And this was the belief of these theosophists from day one. So Zeitgeist is nothing more than the fulfillment of that.
Absolutely. I mean, I could tell, when he was pushing the 9/11 truth and everything else, you could tell it was like something like a fishtail, like leading the people in, then slamming them with, Jesus Christ is fake. Basically, it's a kind of promoting evolution as well, a little bit, and just teaching you that you could be your own God as well, and it's just all that New Age crap that he's trying to push on the people, and you can see the propaganda, the angles he's pushing to lead the people in. Using some truth and pushing his propaganda. And
exactly. I mean, and with what you just mentioned, the teaching people that you're your own God. Interestingly, the creator of Zeitgeist, Peter Joseph, when he was on Mark Dice's Resistance Radio, a caller called in and said, "Listen, Peter Joseph, what you're teaching sounds exactly like Luciferianism or Satanism." And Peter Joseph says, "Well, I'm not a Satanist." But then the guy goes on to qualify that and say, well, a Satanist or a Luciferian is, it can be an atheist who says that man is God. And then Peter Joseph exposes himself by saying, well, you are God. And then when people hear that, there has to be a red flag, because what that doctrine is called the Luciferian doctrine, which says that there's two parts to it. You can look at it the atheist way or the theistic way. The theistic way is that Lucifer came to save humanity from the garden by giving him intellect and awakening mankind, giving